Howdy, this is Bubba. I'm going to answer a few questions I got from the Facebook group. So, if anybody has any more, let me know. As I mentioned in the post, be glad to do a live stream and bring on a few guests to, have some fun and meet people. But
You're watching Bubba's Cruise and Concerts. Like and subscribe.
usually my brother will help me out on this, but everybody thinks we're twins and he is not on the ship, so I didn't want to confuse people. So I'll be doing these by myself. Let's get straight to it. Stacy K, I'm not good enough to pronounce last names or my bad English, says, I want to see your spreadsheets for meals. I've been on Mardi Gras 3 times and still haven't eaten everywhere on the ship. So seeing how someone else manages or organizes everything would be interested. And I do make a spreadsheet for my meals, which is usually people laugh about that. But and she's 100% correct. You cannot eat everywhere on this ship in 7 days. Trust me, I tried. I proudly gained 12 pounds the first time I was on the Mardi Gras, which, if you don't know, is basically the same food as the celebration. So the way I look to organize it is that, and what, I guess taking a step back, the main dining room on this ship, because of the amount of people, the main dining room is not big enough to hold everybody and do a main dining room. So what they do is they give you 3 options that they call specialty options, which I'll get into that later. So you got 3 other places to eat outside of the main dining room for no extra charge. So that is where I always start at. The three places that are extra or that are included are the Italian restaurant, Chibang, which is a Mexican / Asian style place, and then Guy's Barbecue. Do not look at them as specialty restaurants for free. I think that's a little bit of a marketing spin on that. Basically, what they are is that it's basically rotational dining that they have done and not really said it, but to me, it's a good thing. So, there's what I would recommend doing is looking at the menus at the main dining room. In the days that you do not like that menu, what I do is that's when I do the other restaurants. So that's where I start off by doing it. And then, the way I do it is like the former nights, I want to be in the main dining room. The last night, they sing the goodbye song and they have their best desserts on the last night. This one is a little different because they do have the new menus, which I got to study up on before. So, and I will, the lunches are where it gets really complicated and you run out of time. That's why on my menu, I added a 4th meal, which I call slunch, which is a combination of supper and lunch. And I usually eat about 3 o'clock because, let's be honest, we're all eating a meal between 12 o'clock and 7 o'clock on a cruise. But where lunches are, where you miss out on is that when you're in ports, a lot of times you don't eat lunch on the ship. So, what I do is on your check the hours out, and I have the rough estimate of hours if you notice on the right side here. But on sea days, do eat at the places that have limited hours, like your Chibang and your Italian restaurant. They're not open all the time. So if you're not going to do Guy's Barbecue at night, you could do that as well on sea days. So I try to go on those places at night. I try to go on those places on sea days. Places like Guy's Burger is open. Guy's Burger and Shack's Chicken are open till 6 o'clock. So you don't. There's a lot of options to eat those places. I usually like to do like Guy's Burger. Like the first day, I think we're in Cozumel, where I won't be on the ship. When I come back about later on the day, that's when I'll get my Guy's Burger. And that's something I do. Street eats it's smaller portions, so that's the perfect what I call lunch. That's a good 3 o'clock meal. Don't waste your C-Day lunch on street eats because it's also open later. Breakfast, I plan my breakfast around the brunch, which is C-Day brunch. So you got 3 chances to eat that. And then from there I fill it out. The Emerald's breakfast, which is extra, I like to eat there one day in mid to kind of shake it up because breakfast can get a little stale, but not so much on this ship. But I like to get an omelet. A lot of people like Blue Iguana Cantina. Shack's Chicken is another of the highlight. They got a biscuit there that's got honey glaze on it, which to me that's good enough to get twice that. So and that's the thing that's why it takes a couple of times on this ship, because some things you're going to like and some things you aren't going to like. So, some things like I know the shebang, I'm going to skip it. I don't like it, but I do like the Italian for lunch. So you kind of, once you've been on the ship before, you kind of know which ones you like and which ones you don't like. But my big picture thing is look at the menus on the main dining room, and then plan out, your brunch. Are you going to go to that? Because if you're going to skip brunch, then you can kind of easily get the breakfast in there. But if you don't, then it gets a little more complicated. Because on your days you're in ports, you might be rushed. So that's the thing. When you're on the days you're at ports, a lot of times grabbing the Shack's Chicken biscuit is a good thing because it'll be quick. The next one I will not read the name because it came in a direct message. It's also going to be a lengthy answer. It is, I consider myself an experienced cruiser, but would love something to help me to try to get more organized. And I think I had sent her a packing list and she made changes. So to me, it's almost like people brag about overpacking or underpacking. And my goal is to get everybody to pack slightly more than they need to. So the first thing I'm going to say is probably going to scare most people is plan out your outfits, which I know is not going to be for everybody. But when I say that, I'm not saying you have to be as detailed as me, but on the days you're on the excursion, I think most people are going to wear swimsuits or athletics type stuff on sea day. So that's pretty, common for everybody. So what are you doing on your excursions? Like for me, I probably will be in swimsuits all 3 excursions with the ones that I have booked. So that tells me the nicer clothes, like my khaki shorts and nicer stuff, I'm not going to need a lot of those this trip. So things like that. And also the main dining room, that's a controversial topic, but I'm the old school way of I like to dress up one main dining room, and some people don't. So which items in the main dining room can you rewear? That helps you not have to pack as much. You only need 7 main dining room outfits. You don't need 8 or 9. So that's something that can planning your outfits out, what you're going to wear to the main dining room. Helps out as well. Me, as a guy, I'll bring usually about 3 pairs of pants, and then, I know that I can rewear them. And usually after I get all my there's no harm done in throwing in a couple extra outfits. I like to throw in some shirts that are versatile that I can wear at a couple different places. So I think that's something you can do. But, there's no harm. You can throw in a couple extra shirts and you're not going to be out nothing there because, they don't wear much. But you don't need 7 different extra outfits just in case outfits. So you just need a couple. I like to, throw an extra t-shirt in there around the pool and, that kind of stuff. And another big item, this is more into the type of things that you can pack, is packing cubes are important. You can get those $10 to $20. Amazon. Go to your TJ Maxx type stores. A lot of times they have those. And I'll put up a picture here, and that helps you get organized, and also helps you whenever you unpack as well. It helps you get organized. The next one is one of probably the biggest packing tip that everybody has, and that is these magnetic wall hooks. They're pretty cheap. If you don't have any, come see me. I probably got one you can borrow and have. Uh, is I put especially if you got multiple people in your room. I like to put things like like my lanyard with my room key. I throw it on there. Sunglasses, hats, different things like that. So when I leave, I automatically put my room key on there, and the fun times I like to put it behind it, so that way you're not scrambling around for that. That's another tip. Another one that not many people do is go to Walmart, get you a cheap, I think it's called the over the door shoe organizing bag. I got one for $5, and I bought it on 3 or 4 cruises. That helps you with any small items. You can throw it in there because space is always a little hard to find on cruises. It will hang by the door, and you can have a lot of, if you have a lot of bathroom items and stuff like that, because the spaces, these bathrooms in these ships are small. Another one, if you're flying, which a lot of people are, regardless of what sex you are allowed to bring a personal bag, which in layman's terms means a pocketbook. So, like I said, you can have a carry-on bag plus a pocketbook size item. So I have a briefcase type thing that I bring with me, and it is my lifeline. That does not leave my side. I do not even give my family members. It has all my super important stuff, like my paperwork, my contacts, my medicine, my expensive electronic equipment, stuff like that. I don't put clothes in mine. A lot of people do, just in case luggage gets lost. I don't do that. But anything that's super valuable that you don't want leaving your site, I bring on that. And like I said, you can bring that with you, regardless of anything. You can bring that plus a carry-on bag. The last one, item is the electronic bag organizer. I pack. Like I said, just go to TJ Maxx. You can usually find the same kind of green colored one for about $10, and it helps all your charging equipments and that kind of stuff. All right, I've rambled on a lot. I got 2 more questions. This one is from Hannah. It says, "Do they have the trash can nachos on Celebration and Pig and Anchor?" And like I said, this is the Pig and Anchor is free for dinner on this ship. I have not actually ate at Pig and Anchor, living where I'm from. There's a lot of good barbecue places, so the ship does not do it as good as they do back home. But the answer is yes, you can. They do have trash can nachos. They are, and if you don't know what that is, it is pulled pork on house-made tortilla chips, bourbon, brown sugar, barbecue spice, pico de gallo, jalapenos, black beans, and super melty cheese. They do look a little bit different. I have had them on land. He's got a place in Pigeon Forge I've had them at. And they are a little smaller from what I've seen from pictures and stuff. But yeah, you can get those on board. It is actually listed on the Carnival website, but it's kind of hidden, and it's sort of hidden. But I'll include the picture of that on here. But but if you do eat there, let me know, because I doubt I will eat there. But it's something I've always been intrigued by. And they do have a special menu that changes. They have some favorites. They actually do have something that's listed as a filet mignon type thing, but I think they have it on former night, so they like to trick you on that. The last question, I cheated on this one. Kathy Campbell posted something, and it says, "Has anyone ever been to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Mahogany Bay before? Is the fun stuff to do with that booking excursion?" Saving money on cruises is something that matters to me, but no videos I put out gets less views than something involving saving money for whatever reason. But your easiest one is Roatan, Honduras. They got a free beach there. You got, but it is a bit of a walk to get to the beach. Um, they got a chair lift, which I'll put the picture up here. It costs $15, and I think that's one way. My friend of mine rode it a couple weeks ago. Um, but like I said, that you if you want to do free, you can just walk to it. It's just a little bit of a walk. Cozumel, that will be your best shopping day of the three. You can kill some time going by and looking at the shops and stuff. Costa Maya, they do have some shops there, but basically it's going to be what I call cheap soup. It's not going to be as nice of a stuff as Cozumel. It's going to be more of your what I call kind of your cheaper souvenirs. If you want a magnet or a T-shirt or something like that, you can get it, but you're not going to be, buying. I don't think you're going to buy any Rolexes there. And they do have a pool there you can get into. You're supposed to be a customer. I did not realize that till, but and my nephew got sick when he was there a couple months ago, so keep that in mind. And it's going to be a crowded thing, so sometimes people don't like that. And they also do have a show they do every so often. It's like a really big totem pole looking thing, and they strap down and they come down, and you can watch it as like a kind of like a religious ceremony or something like that. But you can do that, and you can kill some time there. But Cozumel is going to be your easiest one to not have to spend any money on. But yeah, I've rambled on for 16 minutes, so let me know if you have any questions, if you'd like to do a live stream, and like and subscribe.